Inside Morehead State Basketball is brought to you by Jack Rowe Insurance, your independent agent serving all your insurance needs. The Citizens Bank of Morehead, the home of totally free checking. Larry Fannin Chevrolet Buick and GMC. Richard White Wood Products, a premier exporter of Kentucky hardwoods worldwide. Lakeside Christian Academy, located on US 60 West in Morehead. Educating for eternity. Visit us online at lakesidechristianacademy.org. Standifer Builders Paving and Sealing of West Liberty. Professional work at low prices. That's how we roll. The Tim Short Auto Group. Take the short drive to satisfaction. Northcutt & Son Home for Funerals. Serving others as we would like to be served. The Ira Kilburn Law Office. Commercial Bank of West Liberty, where friendliness prevails. By J.W. Wood and Quality Staves in Wallingford. And by U.S. Bank. All of us serving you.
Hi, everyone, and welcome into this edition of Inside Morehead State Basketball from the campus of Morehead State University, the Academic Athletics Center. Alongside the acting Eagle head basketball coach, Preston Spradlin, I'm your host, David Patrick, and good to have you with us on this Sunday afternoon. Preston, we just wrapped up the most critical, most important week of the college basketball season, and that's finals week in the classroom.
Absolutely, and don't want to take anything away from that because it certainly is a big week for our guys. They've done a really nice job over a 16-week span in the classroom. You know that our guys, we have a no missing class policy. Our guys don't miss class. Sure. We check that. We take a lot of pride in that. And our academic staff over at the Eagle Center has done a terrific job of keeping us up to date as coaches, keeping us informed of what our guys have, where they're at, where they stand, and where they have to get to. So, finishing strong. It's kind of like getting to conference tournament time at the end of the season, but it's, for our guys, the end of the semester. So now finishing strong, getting to a nice long Christmas break, which we have this year. We have 6 weeks of no classes, which will be really nice for our guys. We'll do a lot of traveling during that time. They'll get to see their families, and just finishing strong, and a big week for practice as well. We mentioned before that we had the entire week between our game times, so just a really good opportunity for our team to close one chapter of the year and to really grow and expand and learn and get better and come together as a team in the past week, and I think we've done that.
You talked about the no missing classes policy. Preston, that's so important because the word student athlete is thrown around a lot, I think, loosely, but here at Morehead State University, it's very serious. Student athlete means student athlete.
Without question. That's why our guys are here. Yes. The number one thing, obviously, they're good basketball players, but that is a part of the deal that they have to hold up. They have to perform in the classroom, and we do everything we can to make sure that they have the resources to do that. Brian does a terrific job. Richard Fletcher, all the guys who are involved in making sure we have the resources and things we need to do that, they certainly do. And, missing class, that goes a long way. I think, not all professors, but they do a great job knowing here that, our guys might get in at 3, 4 in the morning coming back from a road trip, and it's very hard. They might have typed a paper on the bus. They may have done some reading and things like that in a hotel and those types of things. And so when you're getting off the bus at 3, 4 a.m. and you sleep for a couple hours and then you got to get up and go to 8 a.m. class, I think it pays dividends for your guys going forward. It shows that level of toughness. It shows that commitment, and that discipline, correct, and it lets everyone know that, we are students first, and we're going to take care of that.
Stay with us when we come back. Much more on this Sunday afternoon on the CW Lexington right here on Inside Morehead State Basketball. Welcome back into Inside Morehead State Basketball alongside the acting head basketball coach here at Morehead State, Preston Spradlin. I'm David Patrick, and Preston, the stretch run of the non-conference schedule. Of course, we all know the conference schedule is the most important part of the season, but it's important to finish strong before we head into OVC play.
It is. No secret, we've had a tough stretch of games with the way we played, and then with our opponents, a lot of road games at this point in the year. So it is important that we finish strong. I think that the biggest thing we're stressing to our guys is the process as a staff across the board, that we're just saying, believe in the process. approach every day like that's the most important thing. We're not worried so much about the games. When we get to them, we're certainly worried about them, but we're worried about having great practices, great film sessions, great weightlifting sessions, and things like that. And so buying into the process is the biggest part of it. And we're in a tough stretch. We've got some really good opponents. A lot of them are on the road, and so focusing on not having those as the measuring stick for our success right now. Certainly we want to win, we want to perform well, but it's very important that our guys understand if we don't win, if we do come up short, that we must learn from it, we must move on, we must get better, so that once we do get into that conference play, we've grown as a team and we're reaching our full potential, which I think could be very good for these guys.
The other day on the bus, you and I were talking, and we talked about the phrase "stay the course," and there's a lot to be said for that.
Absolutely. And, it just goes back to, are you disappointed after a loss? Yes. Absolutely. Yes. But if you're learning from it and you're just coming in every single day, I've gotten unbelievable support and feedback from people in the business and people in the community that just say, keep doing what you're doing, do what you know. And I've seen a lot of growth, and the kids are having fun. The biggest thing is they're still playing with fire, and they're playing with hunger, and they're competing, and they're doing that type of stuff every day. And when they're doing that, again, that process is really going to pay off.
Stay with us. When we come back, a special guest, Morehead State assistant basketball coach Derek Tillman will join us. That's next on Inside Morehead State Basketball. Welcome back to Inside Morehead State Basketball on this Sunday afternoon on the CW Lexington, and it's a privilege to be joined now by assistant basketball coach Derek Tillman. My man, how you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Good, I'm well. Derek, we talked about earlier in the show, Preston and I talked about finals week and finishing strong in the classroom, but there's another aspect to being a student athlete, and that's community involvement. You're very involved with the players in the community. Recently, you had a visit to Tilden Hawk here in Round County, also Lakeside Christian Academy. Talk about the joy that you get when you see the players involved with the young people of this area.
It's a lot of fun. Our guys get really excited, and the students get excited as well. And yesterday we had gone out to Tilden Hall. My wife teaches out there, and we had a really good day, really a lot of fun.
What do the players enjoy about that?
I think just getting out in the community, seeing the little kids, seeing the smiles on their faces, just getting out, having fun, just meeting them, just greeting them and things like that, and just giving back. I think that's the biggest thing, just giving back to the community and just basically showing the community, thank you for your support, so this is a way we can give back.
I noticed, especially at Tilden Hog, when the players walked in, they didn't know what to do at first, but once they saw the kids wanted to engage with them, the players fit right in, especially Xavier Moon. I mean, he's in the floor high-fiving, having a good time, but they bring joy to the young people, but in turn, I think even more so, those young students bring joy to the players.
That's true. We tell our guys, energy is contagious, so once the kids started showing a lot of positive energy and Moon got excited and he was in the floor and he was having a lot of fun and it's, you can tell they were really enjoying themselves because at the end of the day, we're all kids at heart. Absolutely. So anytime we can get back in that.
And I hope I never grow up.
I know, right? Me too. I'm the same way. Anytime we can get in that environment and hang out with the kids and have fun, I think, the big kid in you always come out.
Now, I want to give a special shout out to your wife who welcomed us into her classroom, and she's a great teacher, very, very well respected. But talk about your wife and what she does.
She's very passionate about what she does. She really enjoys teaching first grade. She's a first grade teacher at Tilden Hall, and she's been teaching a long time. I think this is year 12 or 13 for her, and she just enjoy it, passionate about it, really love educating and teaching the young kids, and she enjoyed when our guys come out. She said, hey, anytime you want them to come out, just let me know and I'll set something up, and so the kids really excited. They were really excited as well. She was texting me on my way back like, hey, the kids, it was awesome. They had a great time. So Coach Spradlin, he calls her the LeBron James of first grade, so we get a kick out of that. And so awesome. She's very passionate, and she really loves teaching the young kids.
It's what it's all about. I mean, basketball is all fine and good. Winning games is great, but the involvement with young people, because who knows, Derek, you could literally change a kid's life by just something a coach or a player says in the classroom. It could turn a kid's life around.
Right. Yeah, that's for sure. Just, hey, good job, keep working hard. Because sometimes, you're sitting in front of those kids and they want to be in your place.
That's right.
And that's what you don't know. They want to be they want to go to college. They want to be a college athlete. And you may just say one thing that keep them on course. And so that's the benefit of being a student athlete.
Derek, job well done.
Thank you.
Great job by this guy in the classroom at Tilden Hog, and of course on down to Lakeside Christian Academy. Just a fantastic job of what student athletes and coaches do in the community. Commend your efforts. I commend your efforts. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on Inside Morehead State Basketball with assistant basketball coach Jonathan Maddox. He will join Preston next.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Inside Morehead State Basketball. I'm Preston Spradlin, alongside of Jonathan Maddox, our former Director of Basketball Operations, who has now stepped in to become an assistant coach. And like we talked about last week on the show with me, taking over a new role for myself, and coincidentally with that, opening up an opportunity for Jonathan to step in and do something that he's very ready to do in my eyes and everyone else around our program and our campus. And so just want to spend a little time, Jonathan, today talking about your new role. You can talk about the things that you did as a Director of Operations, the things you're still doing now, and then how this new role has affected you and your impact on the team so far.
Yeah, sure. As Director of Basketball Operations, a lot of your primary duties are not related directly to basketball, whether that's team travel, booking hotels, flights, buses, meals, all that sort of stuff, checking on the guys academically, those sort of roles that are all necessary to be done and all need to be done. And moving forward, as I step into this role as an assistant, now I can be more basketball specific as far as teaching on the court, recruiting, those sorts of things, being a bench coach in the games and monitoring game adjustments, that sort of stuff. So it's been an adjustment for us all. I think we've all kind of stepped in and filled our new roles well, and we'll continue to do so moving forward.
Jonathan, being the Director of Operations here, when I came here, this was my first assistant job as well. 3 years, my last 3 seasons at Kentucky, I was Assistant Director of Operations, which is very similar to the role that Jonathan served here for us. And I was blown away when I got here. His ability to adapt on the fly, to think ahead, to make everyone's job as an assistant easier, to check on the guys. He has an unbelievable pulse on our team every single day. He holds them accountable. A big part of our team discipline has to do with him and his organization. And I was really, really impressed with him, and I told him many times that you're way better at this job than I ever was. And so stepping in as an assistant is just like when I was in an operations role. I really felt like I was ready to do that and was fortunate to get an opportunity to do that here. No different for Jonathan. A little bit different opportunity for him here, but he jumped straight in. I mean, as soon as they said you're going to be an assistant coach for the time being, he was ready to go. He didn't miss a beat. He was on the floor for the first time in the past couple years, allowed to actually be on the floor, be hands-on with the guys, have a basketball in his hands, and be vocal with them. And I think the guys really embraced him, and because they're used to his voice anyway. They're used to his knowledge, his guidance. So now it's a little more hands-on and an opportunity for him to do that. And we're excited for this opportunity for him to do it. I know I'm leaning on him a lot. I'm leaning on all of our staff. Dylan and DT are doing a terrific job as well. But my message to Jonathan is I really need you to kind of take over what my role as an assistant was. And I really feel like he's very suited to do that because we work so closely together as operations and assistant prior to this. And I lean on him with a lot of ideas. He'll probably tell you, I've got a million ideas. Half of them aren't any good, and he's not afraid to tell me. And I really respect him for doing that. But talk to me, Jonathan, just what are you seeing in the guys right now through this change? I know we just keep talking every game, every practice. Let's have some fun.
It's been, sort of a difficult transition for us all. We've all had to step up and fill new roles. But I think the guys specifically, basketball is their outlet, we got finals going on now. They've had a whole semester of class. They're probably tired of school, and this is their outlet. And, even though we've lost the past couple games, we played some really good teams. I think our improvement has been there, even though it may not have shown in the scoreboard. For instance, last 2 games we're averaging about 17 assists and just 11 turnovers per game. And I think you do that over the course of the next 20, 25 games, you're going to win a lot of ball games. Our foul count is down. So things like that, and it goes back to you and stuff we work on every day in practice, coming to jump stops, passing and catching with 2 hands, not reaching on defense. So all the fundamental aspects that we've worked on in practice over the last few weeks have really carried over and paid off in the games. And I think that will continue, and if it does continue, we're going to win a lot of ball games this year.
After our loss at Purdue, didn't play particularly well. Give them credit. Very, very good team right there. Not a great matchup for us in our style of play and our size. Jonathan was great in the locker room. He and I by ourselves, I'm not feeling great after losing by 34 points. But he reminded me that it's all part of the process. And sometimes that sounds cliche, but you've really got to believe it. You've got to get the kids believing it. And first of all, I've got to believe it. And he does a great job of making me believe that. This transition for Jonathan was just absolutely seamless. And that's just a credit to him and the great job that he did. He didn't come into this and just say, I'm going to be the operations guy and the things that he described to you that they're supposed to do. He said, I'm going to do a little bit more than that. I'm going to stay with the confines of what I'm allowed to do, but my mind is going to work more. I'm going to coach the coaches. I'm going to prepare them. I'm going to have them ready to go. And so he was able to step in, like I said, immediately and just take over this role. And that's a credit to you. And that's something that's very, very hard to do. And I don't know that a lot of people understand that. And so to be able to do that and the kids be used to it and you're embracing the role and having fun with it too. I see you on the court. I get a little animated during practice. We're trying to have fun with it. Jonathan's right there with me. If I get excited, he's excited. If I say something, he's saying it. If I miss something, not to my surprise, he is right there, right on it. Every day we're talking about practice. Here's what we're doing. This is the drill. Here's what we want to get done. Here's the amount of time we've got to get it done. And here's what I'm looking for. I may only remember 8 of 10 things. He's got those other 2, and he's probably added a couple more to it that I didn't think of when we were meeting in the office. So much to your credit, Jonathan. I think you're doing an unbelievable job. I appreciate you. I understand the transition and the difficult part of it. But I think we're both really just trying to embrace it and have fun with it as best we can. We'll be right back with Inside Morehead State Basketball.
Welcome back into Inside Morehead State Basketball here on the CW Lexington as we wrap things up on the Sunday afternoon in Preston. Finals week's over. The break from games is over. Now back to the grind. 2 big games. You go to Eastern Washington and then back home to play East Tennessee State. 2 very good opponents.
2 very good opponents, you're right, and representatives of 2 really good leagues. Fortunately, one of those games will be at home here, and I hope we have a very good crowd against a really good East Tennessee State team.
The home game is a week from Saturday,
Correct,
a week from yesterday.
It'll be 2 o'clock on a Saturday, the 17th. I think Brad's calling it, this one's like the teddy bear game or something. Bring a teddy bear and help us win type of deal. So that'll be fun.
So we go from ramen noodles to teddy bears.
Absolutely. Yeah. Brad's got it going on. And, Eastern Washington, a lot of people say, well, why do you play a team like Eastern Washington? Last season we were in a multi-team event, which the NCAA allows you to do. We were in the Gotham Classic with Pittsburgh, Davidson, Western Carolina, and Eastern Washington. And funny inside Morehead State basketball story, we went to the airport. We were going to travel to Eastern Washington 2 days early like we will do this year with that time difference to help our guys. And we got to the airport, and it was literally impossible for us to get to Eastern Washington. And we were playing really well at that time, and then we felt like we were prepared to go out there and play a good game against a good team. And so they were obviously disappointed that they didn't get that home game against us last year. We were disappointed as well. But we just felt like we would keep our end of the bargain, and we said, hey, we're going to come out there no matter what and play you guys next year, even though it's this season. It's not a part of a multi-team event. So just just paying that back to them is the reason we're going all the way out.
Keeping your word.
Keeping our word, which in college athletics is very, very important, and so we want to make sure that we do that. And playing a really good team in a tough environment, and of course you got the travel. You're going all the way to the West Coast. Coach Maddox does a terrific job in planning out our season in July and August, and so we'll go out there a couple days early so our guys can get used to. They're not going to wake up at 4 a.m. and be ready to eat breakfast on the day of the game. So that type of stuff, and we'll get acclimated to it and get ready to play 2 really good teams this week.
Well, thank you so much for watching this week, and a special thanks to coaches Derek Tillman and Jonathan Maddox for coming in this week. We appreciate it. And on behalf of the acting head basketball coach Preston Spradlin, I'm David Patrick. We will see you next Sunday afternoon right here on Inside Morehead State Basketball.
Inside Morehead State Basketball was brought to you by Jack Rowe Insurance, your independent agent serving all your insurance needs. The Citizens Bank of Morehead, the home of totally free checking. Larry Fannin Chevrolet Buick and GMC. Richard White Wood Products, a premier exporter of Kentucky hardwoods worldwide. Lakeside Christian Academy, located on US 60 West in Morehead. Educating for eternity. Visit us online at lakesidechristianacademy.org. Standifer Builders Paving and Sealing of West Liberty. Professional work at low prices. That's how we roll. The Tim Short Auto Group. Take the short drive to satisfaction. Northcutt & Son Home for Funerals. Serving others as we would like to be served. The Ira Kilburn Law Office. Commercial Bank of West Liberty, where friendliness prevails. By J.W. Wood and Quality Staves in Wallingford. And by U.S. Bank. All of us serving you.